City on VegasAllNetRadio.com, and we are talking to the biggest hero in Las Vegas, Mama, and her husband DJ, about DJ's harrowing experience with a heart attack that damn near killed him, and how Mama paddled twice,
Yeah.
and not in the good way, and how Mama saved his life.
What the hell are you doing?
Although I gotta say, how does it feel to get tied down to the bed?
Oh, you know what's funny is he doesn't. I don't even know if he knows about all that shit. But I'm like, that's another thing that I was freaking out about because they did the cold chill thing on him, and I was like, the fuck are you talking about? 33 degrees. What are you talking about? 33 degrees. He doesn't like cold. You don't understand. He doesn't. He's tied down. He's tied. Yes. Well, we have my and we need him to be still or whatever. I'm like, cold and tied down. If this motherfucker was awake right now, do you understand the magnitude of the shit that y'all would be in? You know, like tied down and cold. No.
You know what? Apparently, when they were bringing me to, I guess ish.
You kept trying to rip your tube out.
Yeah, they had 4 people holding you down. The nurse told me.
They said that people hold me down, and that wasn't working out so well.
Well, the doctor had told Mama the day before that a lot of times when they're bringing people out of it, they thrash and try to pull their tubes and stuff out. So the nurse had said to me when I was there early that morning, she's like, "Oh, I knew that was coming. So we had 4 people in here waiting."
We had one.
Holding me down doesn't work so well. I've had I'm okay putting myself in a spot,
right?
But I am not okay with being
somebody
forced
else
into a spot.
Yeah.
So I've been in situations where I've had. Back in my day when I was younger and less me now, where I'd had 6 people holding me down, and that didn't work so well because
all they did was stick some drugs in your vein and you were right out.
my skinny ass would pick up all 6 people, and they'd have to get someone else to take out my legs again because I was coming back the fuck up.
Yeah, I believe it. But you want to know what's really crazy is they took him down to 33 degrees Celsius. And then when they bring him back up, it was 37 and a half or something like that. So it doesn't seem that thing. But I remember I grabbed his finger when I was talking to him when you were at 30. And I mean, it was freaking cold.
So let me clarify. So because we think American here.
No, it was Celsius.
It's a 90, right? It was Celsius. But right. So the actual temperature, your body temperature is 96.5, right? They took him down to 93, 92, 94 degrees, right around there.
But the difference in those few degrees, so yes. and then I was there as they were warming you, and it looked the 33 went to like 35.7, and I felt your finger again, and the difference in the body temperature in just them few degrees was like, I was like, whoa, they really did free. I mean, you could feel it from the outside. I only imagine what it was doing on the inside. You didn't know.
He was out like a light.
Well,
he didn't know
there's a whole bunch of things along the way. I mean, like one of the medicines that they had him on was propofol.
Right. I seen that on the display.
I mean, I'm not only going through this shit. I'm like, that's Michael Jackson medicine.
Everybody thinks that a propofol now.
And I'm like, fuck. Like, okay. And then they had him on something else.
Well, they had him on insulin. And the first thing I said to the nurse is, why is he on insulin? Because you could read all of it on the machines. Right. And she's like, he's not a diabetic, but sometimes when you freeze the body down,
Yeah, there was stuff that's just along the way. And I was just like, oh my God. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? But yeah, let's talk about what you guys wanted to talk about with the emergency.
It's called an ice kit in case of emergency.
Yeah.
I
motherfuckers, let me tell you right now, that's some serious shit, and you fucking need to know it. I just went through it. I didn't know bank things and that stuff that like changes, and normally I know some of that stuff, and we've already discussed it, and I'm gonna get a book and I'm gonna write every fucking thing down that I need to know what bill this paid and that paid, and if we have to erase shit and go to the next month or whatever the case may be. That's some fucking shit you need.
You'll never be unprepared again, Mama?
That's some shit you fucking need.
Make kind of a little mental list of what would have been good for you to have access to immediately.
The code, so I could check the bank account. That changes for us on a regular basis. Written down would have been great, right? Because and then he's telling me now, well, it's this, and I was like, I fucking tried that. And, well, then it's this one. I said, no, I fucking tried that. So it was, I need that in writing, because sometimes the things that you think you fucking know, You don't fucking know that
Right.
shit. And that shit goes out and now that it's coming back, I'm like, oh yeah, but no, I tried that. That didn't work. Having to go and knowing what, what was supposed to be done when, because yeah, it's up there, but some of the stuff he had taken care of, and just the communication aspect of everything, knowing where stuff is, knowing where what the insurance card was, because I gave him the insurance card. The paramedic asked me for the insurance card, and I handed it to him. And one of the things during him being knocked out, they said, you don't have no insurance. What the fuck are you talking about? Because I gave it to you.
Right.
And luckily, and I absolutely fucking love her. She is the nurse advocate at the union hall.
That's what it's just
I
talking
called
about.
the union hall, and this girl was there in 20 minutes, and I'm going to take her a big plate of cookies or something as soon as everything calms down. I absolutely. And at one point I had another problem with something else, and I was like, hey, they're saying this and that. She was like, they're fucking crackheads. I already fixed all this shit. So I absolutely love her, and I don't know if I should say her name on the air or not.
No,
but
yeah,
she's just absolutely wonderful, and they helped me a lot.
But that would have been a good idea because
to know,
we had to get through about 3 or 4 people before you got her.
Yes.
Well, you know what?
One of the brothers came, and some of his friends to say, hey, did you do this? And I was like, no, I didn't know I could do that. And so that would have been something that would have been great. Hey, if something happens, you can call this. This is what they have set up for you. This is what, in case he didn't make it through, they have a fund that has that in there where the guys will go and do stuff. We need to discuss all this shit and get it written down, typed up in a book somewhere. These are the people that you can call. You call this number.
And you need to let you guys need to know. And my suggestion is to let somebody that doesn't live in your direct household, because what if something were to happen to the two of you together?
Right.
Somebody, down the street, whoever you select,
copy to his parents or
at least somebody that can at least know where to find it.
My suggestion is to get all this put together in a book and put it in a publicly accessible place like a safety deposit box. And you have a key you can usually get up to 2 keys for that. You keep 1 key at the house so that you can have access to it, and you send that key to your emergency contact in another location.
Yeah. Yeah, because there was a lot of just little shit, like, that things that I didn't know, that, like, his friend was like, call the hall, you need to do this. And, people were telling me stuff along the way that it would have been nice to know that
and the
stuff.
frustrating thing is that I was with her when she was calling the union, is we had to go through several layers. If she would have had the direct, like, he knows this advocate. She has the direct number. So if she would have had the direct number to that, the direct number to the friend, the direct number to the union hall president, that would have helped her out a lot. And then she wouldn't have had, when you're going like this, you don't know what's happening in your life, to have to go through 4 people to try to find what you need is tough.
I know you guys want to talk about this subject, but I tell you what, I have what they call the Cadillac plan. I pay a little more for it, and I you know what, I was there with Mama was actually at the same hospital 8 years ago, in the same ICU unit
with a 3-day-old baby.
With a 3-day-old baby. Over 18 liters of fluid pumped out of her body. Well, they stopped counting at 18 liters and 2 blood transfusions. And what really sucked is we technically weren't even married then. And I had to watch her go through, while she's sick, somebody come with a big-ass stack of paperwork. Well, we need to know how we're going to get paid. We need you to fill out some paperwork. Well, before you keel over and die, I need you to sign something.
Mm-hmm.
And if I really, really appreciate it, having an advocate who says, "Don't worry, we got this."
She said, "Yeah." She told me you don't.
Matter of fact,
you don't even talk to them to tell them to talk to.
This lady, this advocate, the lady came from the hospital saying you guys don't have insurance. She came in with a manila envelope that was about this thick. Can't see, and it's about 6 to 8 inches thick. With all this paperwork they need to get signed, says, you know what, you're not covered, and we need to figure out your financial arrangement, and we need a good faith payment right now. And
they would have got $5 from me.
Yeah, we called our advocate, and she said they're smoking crack. You write this information down. If they have any more questions, give them my number and tell them to stop talking to you. Talk to me.
She was there, Johnny, on the spot,
right.
man.
And she said,
and she's a hot-ass looking woman.
Sweet Cheeks was sitting with me when we called, and she said, I got this, and I'll be there in about 20 minutes.
And then we were sitting up in the waiting room, and I see a lady, like, with a mission, walk in, and she walked right in. Didn't even ask anybody who they were out there. She walked right into his room, and I said, Mom, check and see if that's her. And sure enough, it was her. But I mean, she was like on a mission.
So I know a lot of couples, and what I find is that this happens in every couple relationship, that one member of the couple takes care of certain items, and the other member of the couple takes care of other items, and they don't know.
Fuck off.
And they don't know what they're doing from one hand to the next.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to women who have kids, this happens a lot more often because the man takes care of the money stuff, and the woman has a budget, and she does the shopping, but she doesn't know about the bills, not even what bills she's supposed to pay.
Not even things like life insurance, auto insurance.
Right.
We joke.
My mom
It's an ongoing kind of like joke thing that
she thinks it's funny.
Not
Not no more.
okay. So we have an ongoing joke thing because my mother
Oh yeah.
has she couldn't even tell you to the thousands of how much money that they have in the bank.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not saying down to the dollar because, you could be off a little bit. I'm going to say thousands. If they have 5, 10, whatever, how many thousands they have in the bank, my mother couldn't tell you even probably anywhere near close what they got in the bank. Wow. My mother couldn't tell you who that they pay any bills to or what they have. My mother could not
Have you told her to
nothing.
get it together now?
I have not. And we joke sometimes that he says that I'm like my mother, and
her sister says you Charlotte. You like mom.
Yeah.
You need to stop.
I can guarantee you that I may not be in control of it all, but we are going to get this shit together.
Good.
And we are going to who is what and when we paid what to who, and even
where
necessarily
any
if it's
money
balances,
stashed.
if it's balances on
needs to
it,
know.
if it's stuff like that. That stuff that when it all goes down, like I'm stuck. I knew this was that and this was that, stuff. Yeah, get your shit together.
Mama took her medicine when I was out because the only thing that was running through her head was, Daddy's going to yell at me if he wakes up and finds out I didn't take my medicine. That I wanted this woman to take some kind of personal responsibility for her life.
Right.
And I was really, really pushing, nudging, pushing, yelling, screaming, cajoling. I was trying all different avenues. Just couldn't get, at some point in time I said, you know what, honey, I love you. And if you don't care enough about yourself, it's going to be on you. So I left her alone on her medicine for almost 9 months. And I let her do her own shit. And her health went to hell in a handbasket. Why? Because she only took her medicine about 2 or 3 days a week. So I went back to saying, I can't watch you do this
Mama,
to yourself.
do you take your medicine every day now?
I missed a couple of days this week, but I missed eating and I missed sleeping and I missed a lot of stuff. So, this week is not, for the most part, I do pretty good now. But and this is funny. I mean, it's funny, not funny, I guess. It was funny to me, kind of. It upset me as well. Somebody said something to me. You need to take your medicine, and normally we have the little 7-day dividers, and I went to get the 7-day divider and I looked at it.
It was empty, and it was me. It was Sunday morning. I said, we got up to get dressed to get the kids. I said, you need to make sure you take your medicine. And
Thank you, Sue.
Your divider was empty, and she had a meltdown because her divider was
there's nothing
empty.
in there. Now what do I do? And I was like, but because I just, yeah.
Well, I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, all that stuff. I remember stuff, and I'm like, and I keep telling the same story twice. Like I was there. Oh yeah, okay. It's like.
It's okay.
And I was like, I know somebody said this, but I don't know who it was,
But that's why you tell these stories over and over again, because now you remember it's a record of this history. Everyone around you knows now. People who barely know you now know what they need to do in a situation like this.
That's right.
You know,
CPR, learn it.
Well,
Yeah.
we're talking
it.
about trying to get
put
a
together a community
BBW
course.
community CPR course. We're looking for a location, and I think the local fire departments do it. So, in honor of you guys, we're working to put a community
I think we're also
event together.
I want to find something for the kids as well. I
Right.
want the
That's a
kids
good.
to
We
do
can
the
it.
check
Red Cross-
Parks and Recreation too. I
the-
think do that.
The Red Cross offers, they usually offer babysitting classes to kids 12 and older, but they do have a family CPR course
Yes.
that they offer. I
Yeah.
do know that because I've taken that with my dad before.
Yeah, I definitely, I'm
So-
going to just because what if,
That's an excellent idea.
Obviously, little mama probably couldn't do it, but at least she could know.
But
she
she
could
can-
know to call 911.
That's what you
she
teach
could
a
know
child.
to have
They taught us that shit in
age-appropriate.
school.
Yes, they
When
did.
I was a kid, they taught us stop, drop, and roll.
Relax a little bit.
Don't get
Relax.
Stop,
Don't get
drop, and roll.
excited.
Get under your desk.
Chill.
Cover
Well,
your
DJ,
neck.
there used to be
Call
commercials on
911.
TV.
Yes.
Call 911, stop, drop, and roll, don't start forest fires. They used to have all those commercials on
They're
TV.
called public service
and we don't have
announcements.
them anymore.
We don't have them anymore because the public don't give a shit. They're only on radio these days.
But you need to. These are important things. I knew to call 911. I knew my mom and dad's real name. You know.
The
Now
street you lived on.
I knew it. I knew my address.
Uh-huh.
I knew my phone number.
Now, getting just before we go to a break, we were talking about the responsibility in a couple. Now, there's nothing wrong with DJ doing your pills every day, but as long as you know that these are the pills that you're supposed to have and this is where they come from, so that kind of stuff, because I know that you started, but a lot of women don't even bother to learn. But sometimes that is the fault of the men. Because they figure I'm gonna take care of it. She doesn't have to know. This is what I do for her.
I know exactly what I take. My problem is normally that was one of the little things things you do for each other. Like if I made his lunch or I put that little extra pudding or whatever. That's the thing that I do.
Right.
This is a thing that whatever the case may be. That's something that he does.
Right.
That's it helps me because I'm terrible at remembering shit. But when I went to go look at it, I was like. Ain't shit in there.
My point is that it is up to both members of a couple to be the impetus to make sure that they know about the other stuff. Silent Mike and I, we're not married yet, but we're going to be. I don't know about the bills.
When's the date?
I didn't know about the bills, but now we have. I would say to him, what are the bills and how much are they? How much do I need to give you? What's going on? And so now we have a little bit of a system. It's going to be a different system where both of us know what the bills are, when they're due, and how they're going to get paid. Now, he and I are doing what all the financial experts tell a married or soon to be married couple do. We're going to have separate accounts, and then we're going to have a joint account, and money goes into the joint account. And that way we can both see the checkbook or the balance, and we both know what's going on where. So, but it is up to both members. It is up to the women just as much as it is the men.
Well, I
want
to speak for the single people in the world because I don't have a spouse to let all that stuff know to.
You can do the book thing, and then
exactly. What's very interesting is my daughter and I, because of all this, we had a conversation about. What family members have we had that had heart attacks?
Right.
We kind of, and we find out that when I go to my immediate family, like my grandparents and stuff, nobody died of a heart attack. They had things like diabetes or cancer, but I had no heart attacks. And then we went through, and if something were to happen to me, my daughter would have no idea how to pay the mortgage, where all the bills are for the utilities. And not that she couldn't figure it out, but boy, would it be a whole lot nicer to have it ready for her.
Some of that stuff, even though, eventually I probably could have figured everything out, and once everything calmed down or whatever.
But your brain's like mashed potatoes.
I probably could, and it still is right now, just because of all this stuff. And I just really just want to go like lay down and just don't talk to nobody for a little bit and just sleep, because I think I had, for about 4 of those days, maybe an equivalent of 2 meals, and that was forced because I know somebody was saying, you need to eat, and I'm like, I
took her down to the cafe and got her a
I brought her some fruit smoothie.
That's right.
Yeah, so there was stuff where people
I made him a fruit smoothie for lunch today.
forced me to do something, but
that don't count.
But those kind of things. Eventually, I probably would have figured it out. But in the process of when you don't know and stuff, late charges form, and then or stuff gets cut off and stuff like that. Then you're in
Or
more of a thing because
surprise,
you don't
had an
know all the
automatic
money.
deduct that started up again without
Yeah,
us being
then
aware of
they-
it.
Yeah, my
Here's
daughter
some-
would not know what automatically gets deducted out of my account
Right. Here's-
because I
Well,
do
we
the
got-
bills.
we
Here's
got-
a
we
very
got
here's a
side
very we're gonna go to
We
break
need to
right
take a
now,
break.
and
Let's take
when
a
we
break
come
and come
back, I'm gonna talk about some things that you need to know in case of an emergency about bills and late fees and things like that.
And Wendy,
Yeah.
I still have a question. I need to know.
We'll be back.